Hi everyone, we are Group 10 from BKA and K1013I Basic Accounting class. Today we will be presenting our group project assignment P6 on cost volume profit CVP analysis. My name is Kanagaturka Gunasekharan, metric number 310482. I will begin the presentation followed by my teammates. We begin with the company background. Tempas Indian Berhad is an agribusiness company that sells packed and ready-to-eat tempoyak patim. The company's product brand is known as Patim Power. Tempas Sendirian Berhad uses sales agents and pays a 50% commission on sales. In 2025, sold 67,500 units, generating total sales revenue of 1,350,000 with a net income of 189,000. When we look into CVP analysis, the purpose of CVP analysis is to understand the relationship between cost, sales volume, and profit. CVP analysis helps management in making pricing decisions, planning profit targets, controlling costs, and evaluating different business strategies. The CVP analysis is based on several assumptions. First, the selling price per unit is fixed. Secondly, the variable cost per unit also fixed. Thirdly, total fixed costs do not change. In addition, sales volume is the main factor that affects cost and profit, and all units produced are assumed to be sold. This slide shows the given company data used for the CVP analysis. The company sold 67,500 units with the total sales of 1,350,000. The variable cost of goods sold is 675,000, while fixed cost of goods sold is 135,000. The company's net income for the year is 189,000. The following costs are also provided for the CVP analysis. Sales commission expenses at 50% amount to 202,500. Fixed advertising expenses are 33,750. Rental expenses are 27,000. Administrative salaries expenses are 67,500 and insurance expenses are 20,250. For question 1 part A, the sales price per unit is calculated by dividing total sales by units sold. RM 1,350,000 divided by 67,500 units gives a selling price of RM 20 per unit. For part B, total variable cost is calculated by adding variable cost of goods sold and sales commission. Therefore, the total variable cost is 877,500. For part C, the variable cost per unit is calculated by dividing total variable cost by units sold. RM 877,500 divided by 67,500 unit gives a variable cost of RM 13 per unit. For part D, total fixed cost is calculated by adding all fixed expenses, resulting in total fixed cost of 283,500. For part E, the contribution margin per unit is calculated by subtracting variable cost per unit from sales price per unit. RM20 minus RM30 gives a contribution margin of RM7 per unit. For part F, the contribution margin ratio is calculated by dividing contribution margin per unit by sales price per unit. This results in a contribution margin ratio of 35%. Next, my teammate will present the next section of our CVP analysis.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Shamin bin Abu Bakar, 310406. So for break-even point analysis, for question G, we need to find in units. After we calculate the total fixed cost and contribution margins per unit, we need to divide these two, which is the amount is 283,500 divided by 7, and we get 40,500 units. For the question H, we need to find in RM, in amount. So BEP in units, we multiply with the selling price per unit, which is 40,500. We multiply with 20 and we get 810,000. So for the questions 2, where we need to find unit of product that need to be sold by the company, to obtain a net income to sales ratio of 30% in 2025, first one, we make a target sales calculations and let require sale as a letter S, and for the formula, contribution margins minus to the fixed cost equal to net income, and we put the number, which is contribution margin is 0.35S. We minus with the 283,500 equal to 0.30S, and we move the 0.30S to the left side. We minus it with the contribution margins and we get 0.05S equal to 283,500, and we get for the sales, after we divide 283,500 with the 0.05, for sales we get RM 5.67 million. And for the unit required to get it, we divide the sales with the selling price per unit, which is 5.67 millions, we divide it with the 20 and we get 283,500 units. And a possible action that we can take to obtain this target sale is we can develop the market. For example, we can make a website for the product and sell it to the online platform and conduct more promotions and product sampling to attract more. Second one, we can increase the selling price, which is introduce the premium packaging or the larger serving size. And we can also improve product branding and quality to justify a higher price. And the last one, we can reduce the variable cost, which is we can negotiate with the supplier to get lower price for raw material and also the packaging. So the cost production will be more lower.
My name is Srivanisha Kumaran, metric number 310330. For question 3, the company is not able to increase the number of units sold. Therefore, we are required to determine the selling price that allow the company to earn operating income equal to 30% of sales. Let total sales be represented by S. The target operating income is 0.30S. Using the CVP equation, sales minus variable cost minus fixed cost equals to operating income. So the equation is S minus variable cost minus fixed cost equals to 0.30S. Variable cost is calculated by multiplying variable cost per unit by unit sold. This gives RM 877,500. Substituting this into the equation, S minus 877,500 minus 283,500 equals to 0.30S. This simplified to 0.70S equals to 1,161,000. Therefore, total sale required are RM 1,658,571. My name is Srivanisha Kumaran, metric number 310330. For question 3, the company is not able to increase the number of units sold. Therefore, we are required to determine the selling price that allow the company to earn operating income equal to 30% of sales. Let total sales be represented by S. The target operating income is 0.30S. Using the CVP equation, sales minus variable cost minus fixed cost equals to operating income. So the equation is S minus variable cost minus fixed cost equals to 0.30S. Variable cost is calculated by multiplying variable cost per unit by unit sold. This gives RM 877,500. Substituting this into the equation, S minus 877,500 minus 283,500 equals to 0.30S. This simplified to 0.70S equals to 1,161,000. Therefore, total sale required are RM 1,658,571. For question 4, the company plans to improve product quality in the next year. Under the new plan, variable cost of goods sold is expected to increase to 55% of sales, while sales commission remains at 15% of sales. This results in total variable cost of 70% of sales, giving a contribution margin ratio of 30%. In addition, fixed advertising expenses are expected to increase by RM 4,500 and sales are expected to increase by 20%. First, the current sales for 2025 are RM 1,350,000. With a sales increase of 20%, the new sales level will be 3 times the current sales. Therefore, new sales are RM 4,050,000. Next, the contribution margin ratio is calculated as 100% minus 70%, which equals to 30%. Total contribution is then calculated as 30% of RM 4,050,000, resulting in 1,215,000. The original fixed costs are 283,500 and with an additional advertising cost of 4,500 and new fixed cost becomes RM 288,000. Finally, net income is calculated by subtracting fixed cost from contribution, resulting in RM 927,000. Based on the analysis, the company should proceed with the plan. Net income increased significantly from RM 189,000 to 927,000. Although variable costs are higher, they are more than offset by the large increase in sales volume and the strong contribution margin of 30%. In addition, the advertising investment is relatively small compared to the profit gain, and product quality improvements help strengthen the brand value and competitiveness.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Deni Fikri Bilaili, matrix number 310266. I want to discuss about the answer for the question 5. So in this question 5, we have two options, which is option 1 and option 2. Option 1 is about increased commission to 20% from the agent request. Meanwhile, the option 2 is by hiring internal sales staff by 5% commission plus salary. So we will calculate for the option 1 first. So in the option 1, we will calculate the commission, the total of the commission by multiply 20% with the total amount of the sale. So we will get the total commission is RM 270,000 ringgit. So for the contribution margin for the option 1, we will minus the sales, the total sales with the variable COGS that we get from the above, and minus with the commission that we calculate just now. So we get the total contribution margin is RM 405,000 ringgit. So after that, lastly we will get the net income, the total net income for the option 1 by minus the contribution margin with the fixed cost. So we get the net income RM 121,500 ringgit. So that's the net income for the option 1. So for the option 2, we will calculate the commission for the option 2 by multiply 5% of commission with the total amount of the sale. So we will get the total commission is RM 67,500 ringgit. And also we also have a salary cost in the option 2 for the 6 staff in the company. So the number of staff is 6. So we multiply for the monthly salary, which is 1,125 ringgit, and multiply with 12 months in a year. So we get RM 81,000 ringgit for the salary cost. So for the contribution margin for the option 2, we minus the sales with the variable COGS and minus with the commission. So we get the contribution margin for the option 2 is RM 607,500 ringgit. And then lastly, we will get the net income by minus the contribution margin with the fixed cost. So we get the net income for the option 2 is RM 243,000 ringgit. Okay, so we can see based on the table given, we can see the comparison between the three situations, which is the current commission, option 1 and option 2. So we can see the sales, the total, the amount of sale and the variable COGS is same between the three situations. So let me focus to the commission, contribution margin and the net income. So for the commission, the option 2 record the lowest amount, which is RM 67,500 ringgit. For the contribution margin, the option 2 record the highest amount, which is RM 607,500 ringgit. At the same time, option 2 also have the new salaries for their internal staff, which is RM 81,000 ringgit. So based on the record given, the results, we can see the result in the net income, which is the option 2 state the highest net income among the three situations, which is the net income of the option 2. The option 2 is RM 243,000 ringgit. Therefore, my recommendation for the company is should not approve the agent request for the 20% commission. Instead, the company should go to the CEO plan to hire internal staff. So there are a few justifications for the recommendation. The first justification is profit maximization. Hiring internal staff results in net income of RM 243,000 ringgit. So that is higher than the agent request of 20% commission plan, which is RM 121,500 ringgit. And the second justification is strategic control. By hiring internal staff allows for better training, brand alignment and direct management of the sales process, which can help in reaching the company's target of a 30% net income to sales ratio.
My name is Harid Mukri and I'm going to explain the best strategies to be implemented in 2025 in order to boost companies' performances and increase its competitiveness in the market. First of all, companies should look for suppliers that offer lower prices without compromising quality. By doing this, variable costs can be reduced, which directly helps increase contribution margins and overall profitability. Next, it is important to focus on increasing sales volume by reaching a wider market. Companies can take advantage of popular online platforms such as Shopee, TikTok and Lazada. These platforms allow businesses to reach more consumers and boost brand visibility and increase sales efficiently. Last but not least, companies should aim to reduce fixed costs slightly without affecting sales performance. For example, reducing traditional advertising expenses and shifting to digital marketing can be more effective and efficient. Digital marketing allows companies to target specific audiences while spending less, making it a smart strategy for long-term growth. In conclusion, giving a 20% commission to an agent and hiring internal staff cannot be more profitable, resulting in a net income which is RM 243,000. By implementing strategies to lower costs, increase sales and optimize pricing decision, Tempat Sdn Bhd seeks to improve competitiveness and performance in the market. The analysis provides a comprehensive view of the company's current standing and recommended action for the future growth opportunities. Choosing to hire internal staff instead of paying the agent's commission can maximize their profit and help them reach their target net income.